I want to ask you a question. Are you rich? Now, when I say rich, it may not just necessarily be in some maybe few material resources or in just finance. Finance is a part of it. Material resources is a part of it. But the other aspect of it to being rich, we have network, we have influence, we have connections, we have knowledge. Now, I want to ask you, my hard question now is based on resources, based on finance, based on network. There may be a little spirituality, or maybe unspirituality rather. Although on spirituality, a lot of people might not actually be there, but are you rich? You evaluating yourself now, are you rich? Or you watching this video now, evaluate yourself by yourself. Be truthful, be sincere to yourself. Are you rich? Are you not sure that because of the people who are around you, when you look at your environment, your surrounding, the people you live in the same area with, based on the fact that you can afford what they can't afford, then you are now believing that you've arrived or you've made it, then you now believe that, or that it is now that thing that is now spiting your mentality and making you believe that you've made it, or making you believe that you've arrived. If that is the case, then you are not growing, or you can't grow to a formidable height. That is the truth. You see, I want you to know that, until you have a very good philosophy about wealth, about riches, you can't be there or you can't achieve it. If what you are seeing is just your immediate surrounding, that I can afford what I can afford, this person can afford it, this person can afford it. I have 5 cars, and maybe the average person within my locality or within my community have only maybe 1 car or 2 cars. I want to tell you that you are very poor. You are very poor, and you might not grow. And that particular thing that you have in your brain is affecting your philosophy. Seriously affecting your philosophy, affecting your thinking badly. So, if you want to know that you are wealthy now, you need to leave that your particular surrounding. I do not mean relocate, just go on trip. Go to expensive area, then spend some time there. Observe how people live there. Then learn from the positive aspect. Then also look at the negative aspect of how they also live their lives. Do not copy the negative. Use the negative as a way that, these are the things I would not do. Then copy the positive side and say, these are the things I can adapt and adopt into my life. You understand? And when we say adopt, we're talking about, copying it as a whole. Then when we say adapt, you're saying you take the full version, then you edit it to suit your taste. That's the difference between adapting and adopting. You understand? Adapting and adopting concept or philosophy. That's what it means. So when you've actually gone to those particular places, the money that you're going to be using for such a particular trip, see it as a money spent on knowledge. See it as a money spent on knowledge and education. So that after that particular trip, you don't look as if you just spent the money with no goal achieved. You understand? So see that money that it is money spent on knowledge. See it as money spent on education. You see, after you've returned from that trip, ensure that you go on that trip with a very good journal. Possible you can go with camera. We now have smart glasses that you can be able to use to film at the moment. So you can film all of those and you won't easily forget some things that you actually see on those particular trips. You understand? Then when you come back, do a critical analysis, evaluate the things you saw, the people you saw, how the environment was, how their average thinking is. Ask people questions. You understand? It will now affect or shaping your philosophy positively. Then you will now know that, there are things that you are not doing that you need to start doing for your growth to be expedited. You understand? So start practicing that, because if you do not do that, if you look at your environment and the average person around you, you are doing well more than them, you might believe that you are rich, but whereas in essence you are not actually rich. If I want to ask you a particular question, how much do you have in cash at the moment? I'm not saying how much you have in the bank in cash. I'm not saying how much do you have in asset, how much do you have in cash. You did not withdraw it to keep it at home, that maybe when somebody needs, I will give him, I'll give that, stuff like that. You do not withdraw it for a particular person, you just withdraw it and you kept it there. Maybe you have it in your home vault. How much? If you do your research, you will discover that as at August/September this year, Warren Buffett has about over $300 million in cash. In cash. The reason why I'm calling his name, he's one of the world billionaires who is doing things that, he tells you that, he does not invest in things that he do not understand. That's the reason why I'm calling his name. We have other billionaires that can actually mention, but he tells that his own philosophy of investment and business and growing financially is that, if he does not understand how a particular thing work, he doesn't invest in it. It's the reason why he's among the few billionaires that has nothing in cryptocurrency, or do not promote cryptocurrency, don't have any influence in it. You understand? So I'm asking you today, 1, do you think you are rich? 2, how much do you have in cash that is not dedicated to any particular thing that you want to spend on immediately? Have the habit of having money in cash. Have money in cash. This is the DEFISIL podcast. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.